transform East Pakistan into Bangladesh. It would be a new nation, but one as obedient and docile toward India as an adopted pup. Indira Gandhi knew that she had little to fear from Pakistan, but nonetheless she directed her country to gird for war. 100 miles to the south of Delhi, camouflage netting and bales of straw swaddled the Taj Mahal for the first time in 3 centuries. But like a veiled woman, her beauty was not concealed, only transformed into an unmistakable silhouette of mottled bronze. As this night began, another woman was in torment at Delhi's Ashoka Hotel, a sprawling pink palace set down in gardens of orchids and bougainvillea, a structure larger than many Indian villages and built by Nehru with uncharacteristic extravagance. He had ignored the criticism, for he wished to celebrate the new India and provide a house of reception for the world leaders who would come to see what Britain had surrendered. The woman, who called herself La Passionata, decided to defy the blackout. No degree of international tension could interfere with her toilette on this of all nights. She could not risk making up her face by candlelight. Drawing the heavy drapes, she cursed the thought of war and turned on a soft light. It was time to dance. In rose water and jasmine she bathed, rubbing oil of sandalwood onto her body, seeking to knead away the tightness in her legs and the knots of muscle. For her face, she selected a whitish base and powder, calculating that it would enhance not only her dark eyes, enlarged with a half-moon of kohl and glistening from a drop of glycerin, but also the crimson silks she wrapped about her slender body. She envisioned how they would float like ethereal clouds, provided the cretinous stagehand, actually the busboy, remembered to switch on the electric fan for the finale. On her arms she heaped antique bracelets of filigreed ivory, and about her neck she placed her one real treasure, a necklace from the Mughal dynasty of hammered gold, with enameled plaques of the gods in erotic play. It was a gift from an admiring Maharaja, whose grandmother had worn the piece to kneel in London before Victoria and Albert. When she was done, La Passionata rose from her dressing table and swirled happily about the room, catching fragments of her reflection in the mirrors and brass lamps. "I am beautiful," she reassured herself by custom, "because I am a dancer." Like Isadora Duncan, she considered herself torn from the breast of Terpsichore. But when she stopped and switched off the forbidden lights and began the long walk down the hotel corridor to an elevator that would drop her 1 floor to the Club Rouge et Noir, La Passionata was assaulted by cross-currents, besieged by emotions beyond normal stage fright. Would anyone even come to see her dance with all this stupid talk of war? Would the hotel management permit the spotlight? Even though she had personally begged the vice president in charge of entertainment, pleading tearfully that one lonely beam of stage light would not summon the warplanes of Pakistan, and even though he had smiled and bowed and promised, she knew that nothing was ever certain in India until it happened. Why were these forces working against her, menacing what could be the turning point of her life? If all went well, she hardly dared think it, suspecting somehow that karma was teasing her, there would be no more performances for diplomatic wives in embassy auditoriums, no more cultural centers where her fee was a cup of tea and a piece of stale raisin cake, no more hotel managements that booked her into claustrophobic, smoke-shrouded cellars from Ankara to Lahore, and then requested, after her first performance, that she make the act more, hemming and hawing here, more provocative. "I am not a cabaret dancer. I do not take my clothes off," she had always snapped at the Philistines, summoning hauteur. "I am an artiste, a student of the Kalakshetra school of dance. I am a museum of classical music and movement. I am keeper of the flame, seeking not to stir man's blood, but his heart, perhaps even his soul." Now, finally, a decade of frustration might be swept away in a single hour. The portal of opportunity had reared abruptly in her path. She had fought her way past other, less dedicated supplicants to the head of the line.